He's getting
Oh,
his wisdom tooth removed. So
that's painful.
yeah,
Okay.
I know it is. So I think your team is here too.
Oh, he's here? Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
realize.
No worries. Okay.
All
I think
right. Thank you,
if you are good,
Sam.
we are good.
Yeah, yeah, we are good and we can go ahead and get started. I can see. So, anybody else joining, Kapna? You said somebody else is also joining from your end?
No, no, no. I was just waiting for Raj to join.
Okay,
I think we
okay,
are good.
okay, awesome. So, like we mentioned, we are a small company called Concat Global Inc. And I would first like to start with the introduction for myself. I know we have been worked together couple of years back. But I'll still give my introduction. I'm Roma Joshi, and I have completed my bachelor's, my master's degree, and I have been working in the IT industry since 2009. And I came to States and then worked in different federal government agencies. So I used to work for SSA, and I believe that was under Raj only. So I have worked with you, Raj, before when
Oh,
in
okay.
the earlier.
I have to recall.
Yeah,
So
you
yeah,
might be managing a lot of
probably
people, so yeah. But I have worked with you before. At that time, it was called Northrop Grumman, then Paladin. So I worked with you before.
okay.
Yeah, under your
Okay,
team.
good, good, good. I'm glad to know that. Yeah, of course. So how come you decided to move and not work anymore? Because
No, there was some changes in the contract, I believe, and then I had to move out.
okay,
But after that, I joined Lidos, and I'm working for the FDA program. And then Lidos lost the contract last year, and
yes.
that went to REI.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm working for them. So that is a little bit story from my end.
So you're still working for them, basically, the new company.
Yes, for the FDA contract. Yes.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So that was a quick short introduction from for myself. Shan, you are there on the call. Do you want to introduce yourself as well?
Sure. So hey, Kokunal Raj. So I'm Shan. Again, like after my master's, I did work for federal agency for FSA and CMS. So I worked for QSSI for over 12 years. I've been more on the infosec side of the house. Started as a functional BA, but then took my CSSP and did some of the infosec certs. So right now I'm building IAM architecture model for some of the smaller companies going, deliver the project and come back. So that's pretty much where I go as a part of this particular activities. My focus is more on the technology side of it, and I help Roma in all of those areas where she needs technical expertise.
Okay, okay, thanks.
Thank you.
And thank you, Shan, for your introduction. So, a little bit about the Concat Global Inc. We are in the business for more than 12 years. We have been working with the SSA contract. We are providing all the resources, basically, as working as a small, really small staffing company for basically ID concepts, NetVision. So, there is a slide to follow, but we have been providing resources in this DMV area for more than 12 years now.
Okay.
And moving on, at any point of time, if you have any questions, please stop me and let me know. We can try to answer it. Um, so this is like at high level. This is the top skill chart that we have provided so far. You can see we have put it in the percentage where we are saying that from business analysis to .NET developers, agile coaches, scrum masters, DB admins. We have provided all these resources in the years so far we have worked. So it is not, basically we are not focusing on just one skill set. It is like a gamut of the whole bunch of skill chart that our customer have the requirement for, and we have provided so far.
Okay.
So talking about our experiences, we have been providing our resources to IT Concepts. They have an SSA contract, so we have been providing resources to them. And NetVision, that is NVR, we have provided resources to them for Paraton, that is IT SSA contract as well. And some of the other to name here, we have been working as a preferred company for REI, for FDA CERC program. QSSI, we have provided the resources to QSSI for CMS contract, and we have other to name as there are Optiv, Tenure Staffing Company, Razavi and Fodak. Those are some of them we have provided for the state government of Massachusetts and other other firms as well. Any questions or concerns, Raj, Kalpana, on any of these?
Nothing.
No, we good.
Okay. And so I want to bring up, like, we are working on certifications as well, that is women-owned and 8A. So we are in process of that as well. Like I mentioned, we are a small staffing company, and we would really like to go for the certifications. So we are in process of getting those as well.
Okay.
So talking about our team at Concret Global, I'm working on the operating side of it. We have laid out like 3 account leads. So one account we are focusing on SSA contract, right? They have the panel of 5 recruiters who does the initial screening and handle the SSA account. The second account lead is managing all other contracts, like other federal agency and the state, the staffing needs. So we have 2 recruiters there, they are handling it. And then the third is we already seen there might be a chance of the expansion, and there will be a growth in our company as well. So we are trying to basically have the third account lead, and we are in process of getting the recruiters in place so that we can expand our business. So that's why we have the recruiter STP. And after the initial screening and all, we do technical round of interviews and technical screening. We do all the documentation review, make sure they pass those technical screenings as well. Once the candidate has been placed, we make sure the invoice, payrolls and reporting are handled by the accounting lead, and the contract manager, basically they look on the contractual side of it and the legal and the compliance work side of it. So for all this process, we have a few supporting staff as well. So we have our advisor, mentor and friend Chirag, who's helping us getting all the resources and getting it placed correctly. And then Shyam, who's our CEO, he's helping on the technical side of it. Any questions, Raj or Kalpana, on this?
No, we're good. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so basically what we do, right? We are focusing basically a small staffing company. We try to find the best fit resources. So based on the requirement that you've given us, we have a panel of experienced and seasoned recruiters. They are technically sound as well. They do multiple screening process, from initial screening to technical round of screening, to make sure that we meet the quality standards. What is the expectation from our client end as well. Like I mentioned, resource also go through the technical round of interview to make sure we provide the good quality candidates. So we do have like a quick turnaround, right? So we have a team of recruiters that is available in the multiple time zones. So for example, if you give us the requirement at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, we have somebody from our team working on those requirements. So we try to do a quick turnaround from our end. And we have a really transparent and good remuneration model. I think the transparency is the key to the candidate as well as the client. So we try to be as transparent as we could, and we have a rate transparency to them and anything. So that's why we can focus on doing like a quick turnaround, right? Because of the transparency. And the connection. We have built a working model to keep the candidates informed and engaged about the process. And we are constantly in touch with them to make sure that they understand what is the requirement and what are the stage we are targeting. So they are very well informed in all the processes. The next thing is the pre-hire work. For example, the SSA hiring process, right? We all know the suitability and then going to the cube and then the person starting. So it takes like 6 to 8 weeks from a person starting, getting the resume from starting like a real job. We understand that because I have worked on the other side of the fence, working on the federal contract as well. So we help them through the suitability process, and we time by time we tell them, okay, this is, you now have to fill up the cube or do this process, get ready with your documentation. If in the suitability process you need a proofreading, we can help them as well. So we are always there to help them any pre-hire steps that they need us. And the scale. So we have a bandwidth and a plan to meet our client need in a good response time. So if you, if any client come and say that, oh, in next 2 months or 3 months we need like 25 people, we can scale up and then hire. We have our bandwidth and plans to meet those requirements as well, to scale up our business and get the resources as needed by the client. Any questions, Raj, Kalpana, on any of these?
Not
Very good.
Okay. Moving on to pain points. So this is the slide I really want to keep in, because day to day, right, common days, because we are in a human business. Day to day we have a lot of common issues or the pain points that we want to address, and that's why really I have joined this company and I'm in this business as well. So if candidate, let's say I'm sending you 10 resumes, right? But you don't have really time to look at the 10 resumes if it's not the best fit. So what we try to do is we try to give you only like 3 or 4 candidates which have a good quality, and then you can try to pick a good candidate out of it and then move forward, because everybody is short of time. We don't really have time to go through all the screening processes and stuff. And like I mentioned, we are in the human business. If those kind of things like candidate not joining or they are not showing up in interview, and even though the interview is done, you like them, they like you, but then resources do not turn around to start the job. Those kind of things will happen, I understand, but the core problem is really the communication part, right? So as soon as I come to know, like at 4 o'clock, if I come to know that the resource saying, even though interview is good, everything is good, I am not joining. We'll try to constantly be in touch with the resource, and as soon as something, like even if it's a bad news or a good news, we'll communicate to you as soon as we come to know. And I think communication is the key for working as a staffing team, as well as working, and it is good for the candidate as well, whoever is joining the team as well. The other point I think will be like high and low demands. Now if I talk specifically about the SSA contract or the federal agencies, we know that after the September crosses, we have a little bit high in demand. Like we need resources to start from October. So those kind of cycles, we already did the trend analysis. We know that this will be the times when we need the resources to be join in or start in pretty quickly. We try to basically have those pipelines ready so we can really turn around quickly, and we can really address like if things goes pretty nicely, we can really add all the pain points that you have, and we'll definitely try to address it. Dependency on basically the sub vendors. We really encourage from our end to have the candidates and the resources on W2 to avoid any dependency in layers, right? That way we can have transparency and have a good communication with the resources as well. Any questions or any pain points that you think that I have missed here, Kalpana, Raj?
No, we can continue.
Okay.
No, I'm fine too. Thank you.
Okay. Going to the sourcing model, Sean, you would like to chime in on this one?
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you. So like in the entire presentation or conversation, we did talk about like who we are. We did talk about what all are the areas we want to we have worked on. We did talk about what all our pain points are. Now and our org structure. These are the place where we would like to just depict that how we will do it. I mean, what all things we have with us to make it work, right? Make it happen. So we have a solid application to be
amazing, good point. Pain point was amazing.
Resumes, feedback from our recruiter side. So our recruiter does go back, do the quality check, they do the technical round interviews as well. And we try to pick up the cues, right? So the technical aspect and the skill is important, of course, we understand. But at the same time, there are certain aspects like, with the resources, like, looking more on a certain area, or he or she is stressing on the certain specific things, like, if I can get the travel, or when can I see this part. So we try to train our recruiters to look for and dig deeper to understand what is the real interest for the candidate. So by the time we submit the resume, our success rate for those pain points we discussed recently,
and we will be able to do this kind of bring this kind of resources, and we giving you example, and we will going forward we will prove that we can bring resources that you want, because in the industry I think the reason is resources trust us. We have some good social relationship. Okay, that's why Shiva was okay to join through us.
Gives us that brand, because we have
Karen have to convince
we've been building it over a year, so we know some certain some of those resumes. We have a good history of them who've been working into DMP area, who has been on those federal projects at any point of time. So we have a good pool of that particular application. We have a good networking as well. So we've been in this region for over 12 years, as we have said before, and we've been going into some of those seminars and the events locally, as well as we've been traveling to. So we've been to Gartner's or AWS seminars as well. From the networking point of view, from the sourcing point of view, if we can build those good sourcing pipeline from our side. Right, so we have all the staffing company. We do have an online presence. We have all the tools like LinkedIn and the DICE paid subscription models available, where our recruiter can go and tap into those applications to look for the best resources out there. We have a deeper partnership with all the companies operating locally, just like us. I mean, we are pretty small. We acknowledge that, but and we had over a period of time, we know certain companies which operate in the region and has those similar staffing needs over a period of time. also we do go out and look do the outreach in some of those colleges and schools as well. So we do go for the career fairs as well. We try to look into some of those freshers, try to train them for the intern programs, for their summer camp programs. We try to help them build our pipeline from when the resources are coming out from the school as well. The one point which I would like to emphasize here is this internal team building. So any recruiter which we hire, right? So whoever will be part of our team, we train them. We really have the buddy system. So they don't start sending out the email and start looking and working on one requirement on their day one. They have a buddy system. So they need to work with one of the existing recruiter. They need to get trained. They need to understand what is our process, what level of scrutiny we do before we send any resume to our clients. Like, any resume comes to your desk, it will go through certain scrutiny level. Like, they will go through those technical rounds even before we shortlist them. So any team members whom we hire, we make sure that they go through their rigor. So if our team members are part of that process and the rigor, then we know that whatever the candidates they will be working off of are going to go through that level of rigor and scrutiny. So this is something which we stress a lot on, and we make sure that our recruiters are trained on properly on those areas and the quality areas from our side. You can go to the next one. And so
How many guys do we have? I just
this is the last one. Sorry about that. Yes. Yeah.
So the reason I'm saying that we have another
Okay.
schedule.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. So I'll just skim through this slide real quick. What we are trying to say in this one is we have a very good transparent model, and we would like to make sure that upfront we spend enough time to scrutinize so that the retention and the growth is out there. We encourage our people and our resources to get trained, certified as well. And we really have that good platform available for all of our resources out there. So that is something which we wanted to talk about here. You can go to the next one, Roma.
Yeah, so this is the last slide, I promise, right? So why Count It Global, right? I'm not going over all the points, we can read it later on, but really we are, to be very honest with you, we are really a small company, and you might have gone through presentations like this millions of times. You have thousands of companies reaching out to you maybe. But our motivation is like, even though we are small, we thrive for the quality and the success. From my end, I can say that I believe that Google has started from like in garage, right? They are not like overnight a big company. What I wanna, say here is, please give us the opportunity so we can prove. We have already given you the examples of bringing like the good resources at the right skill set, and we are believing in maintaining that relationship for longer term. It's not like a short term relationship and we just want to end it. So we have very small team, but we try to understand all the requirements from your end, and we'll try to we are very confident enough to as a company that we can deliver.
So Rama, are you a direct vendor of IT Concepts?
Yes. So earlier we had the contract with them for exclusivity. That's why we were not doing anything else, but that ended. So now we can. That's the reason we reach out to you as well.
So how many people do you have working with you today?
Sorry, what somebody
Sorry,
said.
I think.
No, go ahead. I just asked how many people do you have today working for your company?
So you mean the total overall number? So around like 10 to 12, I would say.
Yeah, so this is what I mean. Because with the number of sorry, Kalpana, I'm just one because we have only 4 minutes left. Yeah. So I think First of all, I mean, I want to thank you for presentation. I mean, it's a lot of information that you have shared, and certainly, I mean, at least from my perspective, I mean, it's not our, small businesses. I mean, we do encourage small businesses to participate. I mean, Leidos has this policy, and we have several small businesses that are working for us at this time. So my recommendation to you is to partner with one of our primes, so that way you are able to understand, where we are, how Leidos business is being done, and see how can you contribute to those primes. I mean, we do have certain requirements that requires a lot of a whole lot of searching for the right candidate. And I'm sure that if you have those capability, the primes will be very happy to work with you. So you may be knowing some primes. I don't know if you're not, and maybe we can send you a list of the people that you can contact. So that will be the first step. And after that, once you are able to go through that and be demonstrate your success, then we can certainly take the next steps. Because right now, at this very moment, I mean, just to give you, even the tech systems, we are not able to get them on board, is because we are, pretty much, very, very heavy on the vendors at this time. And not that we don't want to add new, but again, it all depends on whether there are few people. I mean, we are planning on 3 people to be, they will be out from our contracts in the near term. So definitely the opportunity is there, but just for the start, my suggestion is that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's really helpful. So thank you for your suggestion, Raj.
So thank you for your time. I appreciate you reaching out, and good luck to both of you.
Sure.
Thank you, Raj.
Thank you, Bhavna. Thank you, Raj.